So it's about speed and productivity. All right, get the basics of AI. How does it impact your industry? How does it impact your profession? How does it impact your field? That's what you should be getting. Because again, when I speak about these things, some people are like, oh my God, Nikki, it's so overwhelming. It's a lot. No, no, we're not asking you to go and learn about the whole technology industry. Just focus on your industry. Are you in finance? How is AI changing the finance sector? Are you in healthcare? How is AI impacting healthcare? Are you in maybe agriculture? How is AI impacting agriculture? Of course, I'm aware that I'm speaking to finance professionals, you know. So the mindset shift needed. Now, it's not about the technology. So perception or perspective is everything. If you keep focusing on the technologies itself, it seems very intimidating. You start thinking about blockchain, like, ooh, what is that? You know, you think about cloud technology, then it becomes very intimidating. So shift your mindset towards looking at what everything that is happening and like, okay, we are in a new era. New ways of thinking, new ways of leadership, new ways of working, new ways of learning, new ways of communication. I mean, the whole online meeting thing came into effect in 2020. The year we learned to say, can you hear me? Right? Can you hear me? That is the new ways of doing things. So when you look at it, keep the technology on one side just for a little bit and look at it like this is a new era. Then you realize if you do not become part of the revolution, you'll be left behind. But if you keep looking at it as one thing, okay, AI, that's for AI people. Blockchain, okay, that's for blockchain people. You look at automation, okay, that's if you keep looking at that, you sort of remove yourself from what is happening. It feels like it doesn't affect you, but it does because there's no one who will be left untouched by the technology. And so if you sit back and do nothing, again, in one of my master classes with one of the financial institutions, someone was so concerned about AI stealing their job. I was like, no, forget about AI for now. The real competition is your colleague who is learning about AI. That's your real competition. The real competition is your colleague who is learning how to use Copilot. I heard it mentioned here a few times this morning. That's your real competition. So we are also in an age where not, robots or software will not just be replacing people, but people who are using AI are going to be replacing people who are not using AI. Hello? So if you sit back, that's what's going to happen to you. So stop worrying about being replaced by an AI and focus on learning how do I leverage AI to stay relevant. And again, I mentioned become part of the revolution because you cannot stop technological progress. For some people, I remember giving a keynote in Nairobi, Kenya, and someone was so eager, like, Nikki, can you slow down, please? I have a question. I was like, okay. He said, listen, Africa is still in the third industrial revolution. Why are you talking about these things? And I looked at him and I was like, okay, yes, very much so in some way and in some places. You're right. But this revolution is not asking us if we are ready. It's coming whether you're ready or not. So trying to stop it from infiltrating Africa because we feel like we're still in the third industrial revolution is not a good strategy. It is to look, how can Africa adopt this to springboard ahead? How can you as an organization adopt this to move ahead? How can you as an individual leverage this to move ahead instead of saying, you know what, we're not ready for this. This is not for Africa, or this is not for our bank, this is not for our organization. That type of mindset is a mindset that will lead you to extinction. And I don't think anyone here wants to go to that road of extinction, right? And with that being said, what's it gonna be? You know, there are people that when issues are happening, they're just like, leave me alone. They bury themselves in the sand or they put their heads in the sand. If you take that approach in this age and time, well, the time you pull out your head from the sand, the world would have moved on without you. So rather take action and empower yourself. And with that being said, thank you for having me. I have rushed through the presentation. Any questions?
Yes, I think we'll have to take maybe one or two questions before we, and I'll quickly also ask the